Hey guys, and welcome again to the popular BA channel. If you're joining us for the first time, this channel is dedicated to providing support and training to aspiring business analysts from around the world. Today is lesson 3, and we'll be focusing on the differences between a business analyst and a project manager. Initially, we'll just run through the boring theoretical definitions of both roles. So trying to find out what the differences are between a project manager and a business analyst. So for me, both roles are very distinct in terms of the objectives. What a business analyst tries to achieve is, for me, fundamentally different from what a project manager usually tries to achieve. Sometimes some organizations allow you merge both roles to help save costs. But for me, it's better to separate both roles because they're quite unique and they offer checks and balances for each other. So, according to the IIBA, the BA's role is to help organizations reach their goals. So, that's the big, broad goal the organization is trying to reach. According to the PMI, the objective of a project manager is to meet the project objectives, usually focused on projects. So organizations, obviously, we're aware, usually will initiate a project to help them meet their goals, and project managers want to deliver those goals, so the end project product on time and within budget. While the business analyst wants to ensure that the customer can actually use the end product once it's implemented. So those are quite fundamental differences, and that's why usually, if you're a business analyst, you want to ensure that whatever product that you're delivering on meets the requirements so that there's no pushback once it's delivered. Obviously, the project manager also wants to ensure that happens, but they're more focused on just delivering on time and within scope. That's what they're usually focused on. So there's usually not too much back and forth. So for me, the objectives of a business analyst, a BA, for example, will create detailed business analysis outlining the problems, opportunities, and solutions for a business. The BA number one would gather and prepare business requirements and report them back to stakeholders for sign off. So, for me, the main role of a business analyst is to understand the long term objectives of an organization and also contribute to projects by clarifying and documenting requirements. The BA will also do all the following as listed below: acceptance testing, team building, and also analyze and model requirements. So for me, it's very important for a BA to ensure that requirements are gathered correctly because that's the only way you can ensure that a product is delivered and can be used according to the requirements set out by the organization that has hired this team to work on a project. And if you take a look at the broad objectives of a project manager, the project manager is basically there to plan activities and resources required for a project. And that is why I've given the actual quotation from Benjamin Franklin. I'm not sure if it's actually him, but it's attributed to him. And it just says, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So just see the project manager as that person within the project team that is in charge of planning all the activities that are required to ensure that this project or product is delivered on time, within scope, and in budget. That person also gets all the resources that is required for the project. So obviously, we know that projects can be very unpredictable. However, the PMs are still required to create clear and concise plans to execute and monitor projects. They're also in charge of cost estimation and developing a budget, like I said, organizing and motivating the team, which will also include the business analyst as part of that team, identifying and managing projects risks as well is also one of their roles, as well as managing reports on necessary documentation. So the PM is in charge of the overall team, and they're usually responsible for recruiting or bringing in a business analyst already within an organization to help implement a project. So you ask yourself as well logically, so can the same person function as a project manager or business analyst on the same project? Of course, the same person can, but for me, this is not ideal because of the differences that we've kind of identified. So just to reiterate, a project manager wants to deliver the end product on time and within budget, and they're usually in charge of the overall recruitment and planning. Business analyst wants to ensure that the customers can actually use the end product once it has been implemented. These roles for me are better fulfilled by two different individuals because they're focused on two different things and they have two different objectives inherently. So for me, it's a good way to offer checks and balances if you have two different people actually fulfill these roles, and it helps you have a better product. It helps you deliver on time, and it helps ensure that the clients are happier because you would have delivered exactly what they want. That's just my suggestion. Some organizations choose to have the same person just to save cost. So this is an example here of a real world scenario. You have been working as a generalist business analyst for about 3 years. Just give an example, yeah? Um, if you don't know what that means, just take a look through my previous videos and we describe what a generalist business analyst does, or just do your research elsewhere. But in this example, you just got hired to work for a manufacturing company and you've been assigned to a project. And the aim of that project is to deliver a new set of water dispensers for a sustainable water company. So the sustainable water company are the clients and they've paid the organization to come up with a solution. So the project basically has started a month ago and it's been very difficult to pin the requirements from the sustainable water company, so from your clients. So you've then been hired to figure that out. What are the first 5 things that you would do to bring value to this project as a business analyst? Remember, not as a PM, as a business analyst, because the PM most likely would have hired you as a resource because they identified that requirements are a major issue. So for me, the first thing I would do, just get into a room with the project manager to get a clear understanding of the current state of the project. I'll clarify project objectives, confirm all the timelines, milestones, request for a stakeholder list, ask for all the documentation currently available. So business case, so I can do my initial research. From my experience, I advise that you get additional clarity from your PM regarding the actual tasks that will be required for you to deliver within the project timeline. So how do you bring value to this project as a BA to ensure that the water dispenser is built according to the client specification? I'll say schedule a meeting or a workshop with the appropriate stakeholders from the sustainable water company. You send out an agenda beforehand, obviously. Ensure that during the meeting, all the requirements are gathered, notes are taken, clarified, and that you confirm actions and schedule follow-up meetings. Because what's most likely going to happen is you're not going to get all the requirements within the first meeting or workshop. When you get back to your office, you document this requirement using some visual format, or even if you just document the requirements on Excel using a prioritization technique like the Moscow technique. Or if you're working within an agile environment, just document them as user stories. Aim of this is to ensure that there's an official document that everyone can refer to and that has been signed off by the client. Very important. So in this perfect project, we fast forward 6 months down the line, and the BA and PM and all the members of the team have delivered this very beautiful water dispenser. Our clients are really happy. They're happy with the engagement, and it was a pleasure working with us. Yay, everyone is happy. But remember, what we're trying to identify here, the differences between a PM and a BA. So even within this project example, the key takeouts for the BA and the key takeouts for the PM. So for the PM is really happy that this project was delivered on time and within budget. Was happy that she was able to manage the risks, and she was also happy that she was able to inspire and keep a keen eye on a project team to ensure that each member delivered on their tasks as at when it was due. So this project was a success because it was delivered 1 month beforehand. Perfect for the PM. But for the BA got more pleasure in ensuring that there was clarity brought to this project, the requirements were gathered efficiently, and the final dispenser was in line with our client requirements. The overall strategy and goal of the client was understood by the BA, and the final product met all requirements. The client is happy, and the team is very happy because there was clarity all through the project lifecycle. Perfect for the BA.
So you could pause, you could rewind just to see the key takeouts, and then you could understand the major differences between these roles. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've learned as much as I have. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Sorry very to everyone for sorry very much. Sorry about the long video. I hope that you got some value and now you understand the differences. Until next time, bye guys.
Now waiting on they talk about. Now the teen now they on about. Every day now wahala then they talk about. We don't have to they talk about. Cause plenty talking know they fool part. And when we step up in the place